Hi, I'm Gita Nadia Huta Barat. Now I will read a short story about Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. In a town of Persia lived two brothers, sons of poor men, one named Kasim, the other Alibaba. Kasim the elder married a wife of considerable fortune, and lived it is easy. But the wife of Alibaba was as poor as himself. They dwelt in a mean cottage in the suburbs, and he maintained his family by cutting wood. Alibaba was in the forest preparing to load his asses with the fagots he had cut. When he saw a troop of horsemen approaching, he hastily climbed a large thick tree and hit each took a loaded palmetto from his horse, and turning to the rock, said, "Open sesame!" Immediately a door opened. The robbers passed in when the door shut of itself. After a short time the door opened again, and the robbers came out, who said, "Shut, sesame!" The door instantly closed. Alibaba was down and approaching the rock said, "Open sesame!" Immediately the door flew open to poke his asses and took as many bags of gold coin as they could carry. Alibaba told his brother the secret of the cave. Kasim rose early next morning and set out with 10 mules loaded with riches. He found the rock and, having said, "Open sesame!" carried admission where they found more treasure than expected, which made him forget the word that causes the door to open. Presently, he heard the sound of the horse feet, which he concluded to be the robbers, who instantly put him to death. Alibaba door to the forest, and on entering the cave, he found the body of his brother cut into quarters. He took the quarters and put them upon of his asses and delivered the body to Qasim's wife. Marciana, a female slave in his brother's house, was sent early next morning to a poor cobbler and gave him 2 pieces of gold to go with her blindfolded. Taking him into the room where the body was lying, made him say the mangled clams together. Mustafa obeyed, having received the 2 pieces of gold, and was led blindfolded the same way back. Cassim was buried with all due solemnity, and Alibaba removed to the house of his deceased brother, of which he took possession. The captain of the troop resolved to find out who possessed the secret of entrance into his cave, and disguising himself, went to the city early one morning. When accosting the cobbler, he was told of the job he had, who for 6 pieces of gold allowed himself to be blindfolded and trace out the house of Kasim, which the robber marked with chalk. Buying 19 mules and 39 large jars, one full of oil and the rest empty, the captain put a man into each jar properly armed, and then proceeded to the street where Alibaba dwelt. "Sir," he said, "I have struck his oil a great way to sell. As I'm quite a stranger, will you let me put my mules into your courtyard and direct me where I may lodge tonight?" Alibaba welcomed the present oil merchant, offered him a bed in his own house, and invited his guests into the supper. Morgiana, sitting up later that night than usual, her lamp went out. She took her oil pot in hand, and approaching the first jar, the robber within said, "It's time, Captain." She replied, "No, not yet." So she ran back to the kitchen and broke a large kettle which they filled with oil, set on the great wood fire, and as soon as boiled, she went pour into the jar sufficient of boiling of to kill every man within. The captain of the robbers arose to assemble his men, coming to the first jar, and he felt the scam of the boiled oil, and he ran hastily to the rest, and found every one of his troop put to the death. Full of rage, he forced the lock of the door and made his escape over the wall. Without letting anyone into the secret, Alibaba and Morgiana the next night poured the 39 thieves at the bottom of the garden. The captain at the lake, however, determined to adopt a new scheme for the destruction of Alibaba. He removed all the valuable merchandise from the cave to the city and took a shop directly opposite to Alibaba's house. Alibaba's son went every day to his shop. The pretend Kogia Hassan soon appeared to be very fond of Alibaba's son. Alibaba thought it was the necessary to make some return to this civilities, and he invited Kage Hassan to supper. Marciana carried in the first dish herself. The moment she looked at Kage Hassan and she knew it was pretend old merchant, she sent the other slaves into the kitchen and waited the table herself. And while Kage Hassan was drinking, she perceived that he had a dagger hid under his coat. She went away the dress herself in the habit of the dancing girl. As soon as the appeared in the parlor door, her master ordered her to come into the entertains his guys with some of her best dancing. Marciana danced several times before the assembled company until coming upon Kogi Hassan. She drew a danger from her girdle and plunged into the robber's heart. As a reward to her faithfulness, Alibaba gave her in marriage to his son, and his death put them in the possession of his immense wealth. The end. Thank you for watching.